Hey guys, today I've got a special video for all you game fans out there. I've put together a list of some of the best freebies that you can find in the Steam store. Whether you're on a budget or just want to give something new a try, this video's for you. So get ready for a wild ride into the world of free gaming on Steam. Are you ready to rock? Let's do this! First game is called The Braves. In this game, you will demolish hordes of enemies and survive against all odds. Unlock different characters, find powerful skill combinations, and embark on an exciting journey through the variety of very different worlds in this cute but unforgiving roguelike game. The Braves offers a challenging gameplay experience with its skill-based combat mechanics and strategic decision-making. The variety of characters and skill combinations keep the game fresh and exciting, allowing players to experiment with different play styles. The different worlds and levels provide a diverse and engaging environment for players to explore, each with its own unique challenges and enemies. The free-to-play aspect of the game is a welcome surprise, allowing players to enjoy the full experience without having to spend any money. The upgrade system and hero summoning add an extra layer of depth to the gameplay, giving players more options to customize their playthrough. The stylish cartoon graphics and animations are visually appealing, adding to the overall charm of the game. The graphics in The Braves are charming and colorful, adding to the overall appeal of the game. The animations are well done and bring the characters and enemies to life. The upgrade system and hero summoning mechanics add a layer of strategy to the gameplay, allowing players to customize their experience and adapt to different challenges. The variety of levels and difficulty settings ensure that players will have plenty of content to explore and master. Overall, The Braves is a solid roguelike game that offers a lot of content and replay value. The developers have created a fun and engaging experience that will keep players coming back for more. Whether you're a fan of Vampire Survivor games or just looking for a new roguelike to sink your teeth into, The Braves is definitely worth checking out. Don't miss out on this gem of a game that is sure to keep you entertained for hours on end. The next game is called Forest of Tales Arena. Forest of Tales Arena is a real-time action arena game that pits you against bugs, animals, and even other mice. Fight your way through waves, gain new skills, and loot powerful equipment to fight your way to the top. Forest of Tales Arena puts you in the role of a mouse fighting in the Feeble Arena for eternal mouse glory. Use stick, axe, and acorn to defeat wave after wave of angry enemies. Forest of Tales Arena is a real-time action arena game that pits you against bugs, animals, and even other mice. Fight your way through waves, gain new skills, and loot powerful equipment to fight your way through progressively more difficult levels. Death doesn't mean the end for you. Pick yourself back up and continue from your last checkpoint with all your skills and equipped gear intact. Good ideas here. Combat feels pretty good weapon variety, and it looks nice and runs smooth. The inventory screen is a little weird though. It almost feels like a minigame that you have to open up right next to loot and drag into the proper slot immediately. I think it would feel better if you could just hit a button like X to pick up loot, then go through it in the inventory and sort it out, drop or equip things. Maybe like 5 slots for pickups. Also, I accidentally opened my inventory when running away from Mosquito, and by the time I got it closed I died. I think you should pause time when the menu is open. Overall, Forest of Tales Arena is a challenging and enjoyable game that keeps you on your toes as you navigate through the different levels and face off against a variety of enemies. The combat mechanics are well designed, and the variety of weapons adds an element of strategy to the gameplay. The visual presentation of the game is impressive, and the smooth performance enhances the overall gaming experience. One area of improvement could be the inventory system, which could be made more intuitive and user-friendly for players. Simplifying the process of picking up loot and managing inventory items could make the gameplay flow more smoothly and prevent frustrating interruptions during combat. Additionally, pausing time when the inventory menu is open could help prevent situations where players are caught off guard and suffer unnecessary setbacks. Despite these minor issues, Forest of Tales Arena offers a deep and engaging experience for players who enjoy action arena games. The progression system, challenging enemies, and satisfying combat mechanics make for an exciting gameplay experience that will keep players coming back for more. With a few tweaks to the inventory system and gameplay mechanics, Forest of Tales Arena has the potential to be a standout title in the genre. This one is called Mimic Search. Mimic Search is a short indie horror game in which you take the role of a police officer of investigating a recent mimic attack. Mimic Search offers a unique and engaging gameplay experience for fans of the horror genre. The concept of investigating a mimic attack adds an element of mystery and suspense to the game. The exploration and interactions with NPCs add an immersive quality to the gameplay, allowing players to feel like they are truly part of the investigation. The spooky atmosphere and tense moments when encountering the mimic create a sense of fear and anticipation, keeping players on the edge of their seats throughout the game. With its short but impactful storyline, Mimic Search leaves players wanting more and eagerly anticipating future installments in the series. As a professional in the field of horror games, I would recommend Mimic Search to anyone looking for a quick adrenaline rush and a chilling story to unravel. It's a promising start for the series, and I look forward to seeing how the developer expands on the concept in future. Mimic Search is a solid addition to the indie horror game genre, offering a refreshing take on the classic mimic theme. I like this short horror story about a mimic, even if the mimic could been one of the NPCs, and we have to figure out who's the mimic, but in all the short horror story game was short and sweet and worth the wait, and can't wait for the next one. Overall, Mimic Search is a unique and engaging horror game that brings a fresh perspective to the genre. The story of investigating a mimic attack adds an element of mystery and suspense, keeping players on the edge of their seats throughout the gameplay. The focus on exploration and interacting with NPCs adds depth to the game, allowing players to immerse themselves in the story and unravel the mystery of the mimic. The 4th game is called Pogo Rogue. In this game you'll need to bounce to the top, collect powerful items, pick unique weapons, and fight off a variety of enemies while navigating around with a fun, difficult, and unique movement system. First off, let's start with the bugs. Halfway through my first run I stopped being able to switch weapons. I checked the binding for it and even rebound it, both for next weapon and previous weapon, but for some reason I could just never switch weapons past a certain point. I think this started after I was spamming space and got a weapon at the same time, accidentally exiting the menu very quickly. Either way, the gun I got stuck with was the bouncy ball gun, so it didn't matter too much. In the same run, I killed the third boss at the same frame as I died, which counted as a death. Fair enough, but just an odd edge case. I thought the actual core gameplay was great. The health is low enough to provide constant tension, but can be regenerated easily enough that it's not oppressive or discouraging. I think it ends up being a bit on the easy side. I got to the 3-road boss on my first run, and then died that same frame I killed it, though that may just be due to the power of items like the bouncy ball gun, flame dash, and hat blaster. For all of which, I think the majority of their strength comes from their ability to attack upwards. Other than that, I really like how the combo counter encourages you to move forward at a steady pace, rather than being based on, say, how many enemies you can kill mid-air or something. It keeps you moving ahead constantly, and the extra coins are actually worth it. That said, the music in most levels doesn't really match the action on screen. It's very drawn out and slow in contrast to the faster-paced platforming. To be fair, sometimes you're doing more careful, deliberate maneuvering that matches the soundtrack better, but I doubt that slower style is the intended play experience in the first place. As a minor note about the game's art more generally, I think the quality varies. The main character and weapon sprites are great, the turtle enemies, not so much. The music for the bosses is better, though a few of those have their own problems. The second one, the Simon Says Slime Vat, maybe has a little too much going on. I found myself kind of hiding in corners rather than moving around, due largely to the turrets and swinging axe. The third one, the failed prototype, was really interesting and fun for the first 5, but in the very last phase I think it crosses a line difficulty-wise. The frequent laser attacks are good in the platforming section, constantly keeping you on your toes, but I feel like at the arena fight they're just a bit much. You'll get hit almost any time you change direction or even pogo off a wall, and I sometimes got hit even when I was flying across the screen sideways at full tilt. Unless I'm missing something about how it aims, it really seems like it's not worth even trying to dodge. I think the core game is still very fun and engaging, despite a few hang-ups, in a way that I don't want to be overshadowed by criticism. It has room to improve, but it's still at a pretty good place as is. Overall, this game is definitely worth your attention. Our next game is called Puppet Master, the game. Puppet Master, the game is inspired by the 1989 horror film of the same name, where a certain puppeteer learned the secrets of ancient Egyptian magic and learned how to revive dolls that kill people he dislikes. Players will travel to familiar locations from the original film and get to know exactly those puppet characters that terrified particularly impressionable teenagers. The gameplay is represented by an asymmetric thief mode, where 3 hideous puppets chase the only survivor. The player in the role of a human needs to find find and carry away the secrets of the ill-fated puppeteer, and his minions will have to protect important items and destroy the brazen invader. A person can trample dolls with his foot, and they, in turn, run fast and can shorten the path through various technological openings. The gameplay for dolls allows you to choose from a variety of characters with unique abilities. The driller can drill a person's head with his nose. The blade wanders around the map with a sharp blade and a hook instead of hands. The leech spits poisonous worms. The fool is not afraid of anything and kills with a smile on his face, and the pinhead, it can strangle an unwary survivor with its strong limbs. Despite its large size, it is the man in Puppet Master, the game, who is the victim who needs to save his life. The survivors will have to solve a number of puzzles, start the elevator, turn on the lights, find the keys to the locked doors, and even drink coffee to maintain their tone. The authors promise to actively develop the project by adding new characters and dolls, game modes, and challenges. I really liked this game. It reminded me of the popular asymmetric horror game Dead by Daylight, in which a maniac chases survivors. In general, I recommend this game to all fans of horror games. You will not regret it. The last game is called The Twin Paradox. The Twin Paradox is an RPG where you must prepare yourself for the first time travel, make decisions, explore, and learn real science with the scientists of the Beyond Laboratory. It's up to you to make the journey a success. I greatly enjoyed nearly all of the game, hence the overall recommendation. The dialogues and mini-quests in the laboratory setting were gentle and intuitive, and the lessons and demonstrations about science and, especially, relativity were wonderfully and genuinely interesting. But two elements of the game, the training simulator and, particularly, the actual space mission, were such brutal and unforgiving changes of pace and game style that I am not sure that I would have played the game at all if I had been aware of them. It is unlikely that I will ever be able to get to the end of the game, as, even having earned the bonus modifications to the spaceship, I just do not have the reaction speed to avoid enough of the ever-increasing obstacles. This level of difficulty is compounded by the all-or-nothing nature of the task, which means that failure in the even tougher second part means repeating the hard in our first part again too. The implementation of a midpoint automatic save, which also restored full ship strength, would be needed before I would even think of trying the final mission again. As it stands, I prefer to stop, having greatly enjoyed the earlier stages of the game, which I am very happy to recommend. As for the toughest game achievement, doing the final mission without any damage, I agree with the very helpful Spanish language guide to the game. It would surely require godlike powers to get this. In conclusion, Steam offers a wide variety of free games that cater to all types of gamers. Whether you're into strategy, action, or puzzle games, there's something for everyone on Steam. Don't hesitate to browse the free games section and discover new titles to play without breaking the bank. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching.